What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Caffeinate today for January the 8th of 2019. My name is Samuel Adams, and welcome to today's show. I hope that this one finds you well, and for those that are brand new to the show, this is a daily gaming news podcast where I bring you the hottest gaming news from around the industry and let you guys know what is going on in the industry that we all love, because there is always something going on in the beautiful world of gaming. Now today, we have some pretty big news for PlayStation 4 users and fans. It is within reach of selling 100 million units as far as the lifetime sales of the console goes. On top of that, for those that are, part of that group that have already purchased a PlayStation 4, there is a massive holiday sale coming your way live right now, and it is closing soon, but there are some fantastic deals, so I'm going to fill you in on that. On top of that, Sony Interactive is to acquire audio production company Audiokinetic, which is a pretty big deal for those that are interested in the finances and how these companies continue to make money. We'll talk some more about that. Modern Warfare 4, the rumored to be 2019 Call of Duty game, is supposedly going to have some kind of Battle Royale mode as well, and some details have been leaked. Hypothetically, nothing confirmed as of yet, concrete, but some interesting discussion nonetheless. For those that are fans of Amazon's Alexa and for fans of Razer, congratulations, now Kith. The two companies are going to be working together. Splash Damage has pulled all monetization from Dirty Bomb, the free-to-play shooter that I was a big fan of, so we'll talk some more about that as that game begins to inch into its ever-shortening lifespan. Rockstar is working on a next-generation game according to a job listing. A brand new rating is pointing to Borderlands coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One, not 3, supposedly, but the OG Borderlands that started it all way back in the day. For those that are looking forward to Resident Evil 2, a demo is coming later this week, and Marvel is teasing something quote-unquote fantastic for Spider-Man on the PS4, and it's coming real soon, according to a quote. And those are the stories of the day. Now, before we jump into any of that, I do want to say that there's going to be a scheduling change that I announced yesterday at the end of the show, but that I wanted to put at the beginning of today's show because of some scheduling conflicts with my final semester of college, because I am in college, for those that didn't know. We are not going to be able to host Caffeinate on Thursdays, but instead we are going to have a weekend edition of Caffeinate called the Caffeinate Weekend Update, which is going to be held in the same kind of format, exact same concept, but it's going to be on Saturday nights around 7 o'clock, and you can always follow on Twitter to know when that goes live. But I think that takes care of all of the housekeeping, so without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the gaming news of the day. The first story: I was playing PS4 earlier and forgot to plug it back in. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. We're going to have a nice brief hiatus. Yeah. Quality content. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you do it live, you have these issues that only live people can understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to deactivate and we're going to reactivate. And boom! There you have it. A peek behind the curtain, if you will. However, diving into it, PlayStation 4 is within reach of 100 million sales, over 5 million sold this past holiday season. That's a lot of plastic, because that's what they're made of. Sony has announced that the PlayStation 4, including all of its Slim and Pro variations, has crossed the 90 million sold threshold. The system now has sold 91.6 million PS4s worldwide, of which 5 million were sold just in the last few months of 2018. For those doing the math, that means that around 18 million PS4s were sold last year alone. This makes 2018 one of the strongest calendar years for the PS4 ever, second to 2017 by about 2 million units. For a system's fifth full year, the platform is showing incredible health in the market, likely driven by exclusive games like God of War and Spider-Man. While not exclusive, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 also probably played a large part in PS4's fervor this year. Speaking of that web slinger, Sony specifically calls out Spider-Man's sales as strong, stating that the game has sold 9 million units worldwide since release. For comparison, it took God of War from April to around September to hit that same number, so Spider-Man is tracking slightly ahead of God of War. But you better watch out, Kratos could take down Peter Parker any day of the week. I'm placing my bets. But similarly, a word that I can never really say appropriately, and perhaps obviously, Sony has confirmed that PSN has 90 million monthly active users, which suggests that almost every single PS4 owner uses it fairly often. So what does all of this really mean? Well, realistically, 2019 will put the system over 100 million units unless something goes catastrophically wrong. It also means Sony does not have to rush to move on from this generation. While next-gen launch speculation is gearing up, Sony is in a comfortable place with being able to roll out a successor to PS4 at their leisure. They can work on the console and any other peripherals for at least a year without feeling market pressure to move on to the next big thing. And I believe that is a true statement. No shockers here. As I said on Twitter, as we've all been seeing over the course of the past 5 years or so, the PlayStation 4 continues to dominate the Xbox One and recently the Nintendo Switch when it comes to sales. Now, the Switch is a very big seller, make no mistake, but will it reach this 100 million sales mark? That is still yet to be seen, and of course, the Switch is a console that is very much so a newer console as compared to the PS4, which is basically getting up in age at this point. But when will we see the PlayStation 5 according to these numbers? You know, what does this mean for the next generation of hardware? For me, in my opinion, I think we're still going to be seeing the next big PlayStation announcement coming in 2020 and probably a release sometime in the same year. But 2019 is shaping up to be a big year for PlayStation. Again, tons of exclusives lined up, starting even just next month with Days Gone, or that might have been pushed into March, if I remember correctly. But regardless, starting as early as the early spring and going all the way through the rest of the year, there is still a solid lineup of games, and of course, the big sellers are still selling very well. As we're going to talk about here in just a moment, there's a massive holiday sale going on right now that includes some of the biggest names from the PlayStation 4 lineup, from Uncharted to Horizon Zero Dawn to Shadow of the Colossus Remastered. Tons of games are on sale and are continuing to drop in price, which means more and more big games are going to be purchased, and there is still a huge reason to buy a PlayStation 4 for games that might have come out back in 2014 and 2015. So, are you going to be picking one up? Let me know in the comments section down below. Or are you a longtime fan of the PlayStation 4, as I know that I am? Have my launch day PS4, moved up to the PlayStation 4 Pro earlier this year, do not regret it. I suppose now it's 2019. Still getting used to that in my mind. But for those that are still stuck in 2018 and you want some of last year's hottest games or even some further in the past, then guess what? A PlayStation 4 holiday sale is providing that for you, and this is a sale that has been going on for a while, but some brand new additions have come in late in the game, so you better pick them up while you can, because the great sale is entering its final days. The holidays have come and gone, but Sony's PSN holiday sale is still going strong. At long last, we have reached the 5th and final week of this promotion, which offers discounts on over 1,600 games, expansions, and digital items for PS4, PS3, and Vita, and PlayStation Plus members, which consist of almost everyone that owns a PS4, according to the first story, gets an extra discount on many of the items. So take a look at some of the best deals available. Just make sure to finalize your purchases before the discounts go away on January the 15th, so you have roughly about a week or so. Now, what's on sale? It might be easier to list what isn't, says the author of this GameSpot article, but let's look at some of the highlights. New discounts for the week include $15 for Yakuza Kiwami, a remake of the first game in the series, which originally appeared on the PS2 in 2006. And if you still have a PlayStation Vita, congratulations, you have one of the best handhelds of all time, but you can also grab what is arguably its best game, Persona 4 Golden, for just $10. It's a pretty good deal. Now, aside from that, you can get PS4 exclusives like Bloodborne for $7, Shadow of the Colossus for $14, The Last Guardian for $11, both Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection and Uncharted 4 A Thief's End can be scooped up for $16 each, and Uncharted Lost Legacy, a standalone coded of the series that focuses on characters besides Nathan Drake, is down to $8, and that is a fantastic price for that little game. Now you can go on, there's the Jack games are on sale. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is $20. Grand Theft Auto 5, lowest price ever at $15. I swear this is not an ad. But the one game, actually a couple of games I want to point out. Number one, Battlefield 1, $4. $4. That's cheaper than a cup of frilly coffee from Starbucks. On top of that, I also want to highlight Bloodborne as well. Again, $7. But Scrolling down, God of War 3 Remastered, $3. Scrolling down even more, you've got Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy for $6 a piece. But the main highlight that I want to have here is actually the Order 1886 for $3. Now, I mentioned this on Twitter because it's a big deal for me, but the Order 1886 is one of the most overlooked and underappreciated games of this generation. It is a very short game. I platinumed the entire game in one night. But with that being said, for $3, it is one of the best deals you could ever imagine on the PlayStation 4. So jump in, give it a shot if you are into that kind of game. But I mean, hunting these werewolves and stuff in the middle of this, oh, it's beautiful. Just give it a shot. $3, you are not going to be missing that too much if I had to guess. But again, tons of other games, including Thumper for $6, which I might pick up. But regardless, the entire list is linked in the article, which I have linked below in the YouTube video if you are into that kind of thing. But tons of games here if you did want to check them out. And of course, tons of other stuff on sale as well. But maybe they can afford these sales because Sony Interactive is going to acquire audio production company Audiokinetic, which is a pretty big deal for those back-end news fans. Sony Interactive Entertainment is acquiring audio software company Audiokinetic, the two announced on Tuesday. Audiokinetic provides cross-platform sound solutions for gaming and interactive media. Once the acquisition closes on January the 31st, SIE said that it will use the company's audio engineering expertise to add significant value to the PlayStation ecosystem. It will continue to operate independently and license its multi-platform tools and middleware to developers. That's pretty good. Quote, a rich and all-encompassing audio experience is increasingly critical to the overall gameplay experience, further enhancing immersion and emotion for the player, said SIE President and CEO John Codera. Audiokinetic is a preeminent provider of audio solutions for the gaming industry, and we are confident that this acquisition will allow us to further grow the PlayStation platform and contribute to the broader gaming industry. It is our goal to support Audiokinetic's efforts to advance its audio technology while maintaining independence and platform neutrality. So, in other words, you're not going to be seeing this become a PlayStation exclusive technology. It's still going to be readily available for the Xbox One, for the PC stuff, whatever it might be on. You will see it there as well. But Audiokinetic was founded in 2000 by a team of veterans from the music, film, and gaming industries. Its flagship product is called Wise, a comprehensive audio middleware solution featuring an open API that integrates easily with in-house and commercial game engines. President and CEO Martin H. Klein believes the Sony acquisition is a win for both the company and its partners. Quote, we will remain independent and continue to deliver our suite of audio solutions to developers and platform holders with even greater resources to continue innovating, expanding our market, and enhancing our technology, he said. We are also excited about the opportunity to contribute to SIE at a platform level. And so all of these things are triggering this idea in my mind that this is a pretty good move overall. Again, tons of money exchanging hands here, if we are being honest with each other. But on top of that, to see Sony branching out and trying to diversify where they're putting their money is a pretty good move. And of course, as we saw at CES and many other companies, headlining what they were seeing from the Consumer Electronics Show, essentially Sony is proving that it's not a tech company necessarily. So again, branching out, becoming something of a source of a lot of different types of tech, a lot of different types of lifestyle integration, weird stuff coming from Sony, but big stuff coming from Sony as well. Who knows what they're really doing, but PlayStation's still a big part of their lineup, the biggest part of Sony, if I remember correctly, when it comes to what money is exchanging hands. And so a move to get deeper into gaming and kind of diversify outside of just PlayStation and pick up a company that's helping out, various companies throughout the gaming industry is a pretty good move in terms of, ensuring stability in the future. But I digress. Let's talk about Call of Duty, because a rumor has been floating around that Modern Warfare 4 has Battle Royale, and there are some details about that. Now, this is all very speculative, but still something I wanted to talk about today, because speculation is still news, because people are talking about it, and that's what signifies news in my mind. But a few days ago, popular YouTuber Chaos posted supposedly leaked information on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which is expected to be this year's Call of Duty game. The leak contained information on various game modes that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will bring to the table, including details on what its Battle Royale mode will have in store. Now, if the rumors are to be believed, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will follow Black Ops 4's lead and have its very own Battle Royale mode. I would say that's probably a safe bet. And also, like Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 4's Battle Royale mode will feature popular characters from Infinity Ward's games as playable characters. So where Black Ops 4 had characters like Reznov and Mason in its Blackout Battle Royale mode, Modern Warfare 4's Battle Royale mode may have Captain Price, Ghost, and Soap as playable characters instead. Modern Warfare 4's Battle Royale map is said to be around the same size as the Blackout BR map, but there will be one big difference. According to these rumors, 45% of Modern Warfare 4's Battle Royale map will be covered in snow, perhaps suggesting that the game will take place in a mountainous region. If so, the snowmobile vehicles said to be added in Modern Warfare 4's Battle Royale mode will surely come in handy. And again, this is all coming to us from a YouTuber that does say that none of this is confirmed in any way by anyone. All of this could very likely be fabricated and made up, but if it was true, what do you think? Chaos says on Twitter at ChaosXSilencer. If you did want to look that up. But again, big deal here, and also the rumor of a remaster of Modern Warfare 2 taking the place of a campaign for Modern Warfare 4. So essentially, to kind of frame up what's going on, hypothetically, with this year's Call of Duty, you have the standard kind of multiplayer, like you would expect from a Modern Warfare / Call of Duty game. On top of that, a BR mode centered in the Modern Warfare universe, and on top of that, instead of having a brand new campaign, a remaster of Modern Warfare 2 could be what's coming down the pipe. So, we have no specific announcement, no specific release date, no trailer, teaser, anything along those lines. This is all just speculation at this point, but that's pretty much what you're looking at for this year's Call of Duty as it stands right now. Now, you might be listening to this in November and say, ha, you were really wrong, weren't you? Very well could be. I totally get that, but still, it's fun to speculate about what's coming in just a couple of months. Gotta love Call of Duty. Even all these years later, as I've moved on to play other games, as I've moved on to more complex games, there is something so satisfying about sitting down and just shooting things on the screen. It is simple, it is not complex in any kind of way, shape, or form. You just sit down, you shoot, you learn the map, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I digress. You know what else is beautiful? That's right, it's RGB lighting, and guess what? Razer is a company that has that going on, and now it's getting Amazon Alexa support. That's right, if you have a Razer product, and it does have Razer Chroma, you can now control it with Alexa. Amazon Alexa is coming to compatible Razer devices via Razer Synapse 3 in the second quarter of the year, Razer announced on Tuesday from CES. The company also announced that its Razer Chroma Connected Devices program is officially live with 15 new partners. This means over 300 devices now work with Razer Chroma-enabled games and applications, according to Razer. It's pretty cool. To use Alexa on supported gaming hardware, players will have to make use of the company's Razer Synapse 3, and with it, Razer says users can speak through their Razer headsets and mics to control compatible devices. With the combination of Alexa and Razer Synapse 3, users can control lighting synced with Razer mice, keyboards, headsets, and other hardware. And Alexa integrated with Synapse 3 also enables Razer users to control ambient Philips Hue lighting, access tens of thousands of skills via mic-enabled Razer products. A unified Razer Chroma lighting experience can be achieved across third-party hardware devices as well, including PC cases, motherboards, and cooling fans using the Razer Chroma Connect module, according to the company. To break that down for you, if you have things that are in pretty colors, you can now tell them what color you want them to be. And also you can do some other stuff like, hey Alexa, play Despacito and stuff like that. But quote, this is an amazing look forward for Razer into a future for gamers where the full potential of gaming gear is seamless and intuitively controlled through voice activation, synchronization, and connected cloud services, said Razer co-founder and CEO Min Lang Tan. I probably butchered his name, but I follow the dude on Twitter, and he's a pretty cool guy. Quote, Razer Chroma is an incredibly powerful gaming feature, and we are motivated to work closely with Amazon to build this integration with Alexa, enabling users to change lighting effects, profiles, start games, change settings, and more. Razer released a set of examples that will work with the coming support once it's live, and they include using voice commands to change to different lighting profiles, launch a game, change a monitor's settings, and switch to different audio modes. And so, Razer also said it and Amazon would be working jointly with game developers to enable Alexa in-game functionalities together with Chroma SDK to make gaming even more immersive. And Razer also said the following manufacturers have Chroma connected devices: AMD, AOC, ASRock, BioStar, and several others, which you probably stopped paying attention to already. but the full list is, of course, linked in the article, which I have linked down below. But interesting move here from Razer, and a good one, I would say, as well, because Alexa is becoming something of a ubiquitous type of technology that our society is adopting at a very crazily, sure, why not? There was a really complex sentence there, and then it just kind of went downhill. But people love Alexa. I have 2 Amazon Echo devices in my home, and I use both pretty regularly. Are they spying on me and my family? More than likely. Does that bother me? A little bit, but not enough for me to stop using it. And so to go ahead and embrace this, future where we are constantly being listened to and our lives are being improved by what is being heard, I suppose you might as well go ahead and have your gaming infiltrated by Alexa as well. But to be able to see it change not only the color of your peripherals, but also the lights, also to, you know, start up different kinds of effects, stuff like that, change monitor settings, these kinds of ideas. It's a very forward-thinking kind of concept, and so it's cool to see this kind of announcement come out of CES. But is it one you'll use? You'll have to let me know. For me, I don't think this is something that I will use enough, because when it comes to how I use these voice-controlled devices, it's normally just to ask about the weather. It's normally just to the basic stuff. You know, I will use it to play music. Well, I'll be like, Alexa, play AC/DC or something along those lines. I have better music taste than that, but you know what I'm saying. So I'll use it for that. I'll use it to be like, Alexa, what's the temperature right now? Stuff along those lines. But to be quite honest with you, when it comes to using it for complex, everyday uses, I just really can't get behind that, because it's just more convenient for me to type something on my computer. I'm literally sitting surrounded by 4 monitors. I don't need a speaker listening to me as well. But I digress. A lot of people use Alexa, and so we'll see how this gets adopted. But right now, Razer is becoming a big part of the future of Amazon and how it works with gaming. But for those that are fans of Dirty Bomb, you might have heard the game is going to be stopping development going forward, because quite frankly, Splash Damage is moving on to bigger and better things. But there has been a brand new update, because they have pulled all monetization from Dirty Bomb itself. The dev has removed premium virtual currency from the in-game economy and has abandoned the free-to-play game ends live development. That was a weird way to say that, but Splash Damage wants Dirty Bomb to go out with a bang. While the company already announced that it was ending live development on the free-to-play first-person shooter, today it followed that by announcing the imminent removal of all monetization from the game. Quote, "We wanted to turn this update into a celebration of Dirty Bomb," the company said in a blog post, "allowing players old and new to experience everything without a cost. We've been working to remove all monetization from Dirty Bomb and have also thrown in a few extra treats as a thank you to all of our players for supporting the title over the years." That's a good move. In its final update to the game, set for launch next week, Splash Damage will remove the RADS premium virtual currency from the game entirely, and converting any existing RADS players had into the credits currency that can be earned through normal play. All of the game's Steam downloadable content packs have been pulled from sale. In-game bundle purchases that required RADS have been removed from sale, and dozens of older in-game items that had been unavailable were reintroduced to the store for sold for credits. Additionally, players will earn credit through normal play at an accelerated rate, so if you didn't want to pour hundreds of hours into the game, guess what? You don't have to. Splash Damage has committed to running dedicated servers for the game throughout 2019 and has not made a decision yet on what happens after that. A server FAQ, frequently asked question, on the game's site says players can't currently host their own servers, but adds, "We're going to be looking into the feasibility of other options for hosting Dirty Bomb servers in the future." Dirty Bomb began as an open beta period in June of 2015 and marked its proper launch in August last year. Splash Damage announced it would be halting work on the game just 2 months later, which was a big blow to me. Now, for those that have not played Dirty Bomb, number one, get in and give it a shot, because with a lot of these smaller indie titles, specifically with shooters and Battle Royale games, they don't last long. You know, I got into Battle Royale, or Islands of Nine Battle Royale, and I gave that a shot before a lot of the server population kind of died. I played Radical Heights before it completely and totally tanked, and it's cool to have these experiences so you know this kind of history, so you can get in and try what these people are bringing to the table. And so I was lucky enough to be able to play Dirty Bomb, and what I would call its prime. I think Dirty Bomb was a really good game, even in beta. I think it's a fantastic game. I would say it might even be my favorite free-to-play game when it comes to something that's not Battle Royale. But without a doubt, jump in, give this a shot, because this is the best time to try it. The servers are still up. More people are going to be rushing to play this game because now it does have a little bit of, popularity, a little bit of movement, a little bit of press coverage. So it's the perfect time to jump in and give it a shot. So again, free on Steam, and it's going free entirely with no monetization going forward. A pretty good look overall. Also, to Spike in the chat, what's going on? Welcome on in. And for those that are watching the YouTube video later, or if you are watching/listening to the podcast later on, then by all means jump in and join us in Twitch chat 5 nights a week, Monday through Wednesday, Friday through Saturday at twitch.tv/thesamueladams. Had to think about that schedule. Little complex, but Rockstar is working on next-gen game, a job listing does confirm. Rockstar Games may have released its award-winning cowboy adventure Red Dead Redemption 2 just a few months ago, but that doesn't mean that the studio plans to rest at all. It seems that Rockstar is already rearing to go on its next project, and it's planning big things for the next generation of consoles. That is according to multiple job listings found on the Rockstar Games website. One job listing for a senior environment artist at Rockstar India explains that candidates will be working with the development team to create next-generation worlds for some exciting upcoming projects. Candidates can't have just strong modeling and texturing skills, says the listing, as the hired artist, quote, must be able to create immersive, living, and fully realized environments as well. At Rockstar New York, meanwhile, the famed video game developer is hiring a mocap tools developer to help create and build upon the next generation of mocap tools and pipeline. For those that don't know, that's motion capture, so like facial animations, bodily movements, stuff along those lines. But the hired developer will be working on some of the largest scale projects to be found in any entertainment medium, says the listing. Considering that Red Dead Redemption 2 already features the largest map ever created by Rockstar, this listing may indicate that the next studio's project, or the studio's next project, some may say, will somehow be even bigger. Unsurprisingly for this famously tight-lipped studio, the job listings don't provide any hints at exactly what Rockstar will be working on next, but that doesn't mean that fans can't speculate, because you know that they will. Now, of course, they go on to say Agent, Bully 2, stuff along those lines, another Red Dead Redemption coming down the pipe, which is false. They will not release that for at least 5 years, but one is probably coming. In my opinion, I think we might be seeing maybe the return of a Max Payne. I think that could be a pretty big option, especially considering the timing that would really kind of bring into play. I think that's a good idea. But overwhelmingly, I would love to see a brand new IP come from Rockstar. I think that there is a lot of creativity there, of untapped potential that is being kind of harnessed and used to pump out old franchises, and there's nothing wrong with that. Grand Theft Auto 5 was the peak of Grand Theft Auto to date. Red Dead Redemption 2 built on everything that Red Dead Redemption 1 laid down, and on top of that, every Rockstar game has been of a very high quality. I can't think of one that was bad, and they're continuing in that trend. But to bring new ideas, to try new concepts, there's nothing wrong with that. So we'll see what 2019 does entail. If I had to guess, no big announcements as of right now, because people are still going to be riding on Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Online. That kind of thing is not going anywhere for a very long time. But again, doesn't hurt to speculate. Does not hurt to speculate. However, if you are looking forward to Borderlands 3, that's not announced either, but there is a brand new rating that points to Borderlands coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Could it be an appetizer for Borderlands 3? Maybe. But it's going to be a real trip replaying the first Borderlands on PS4 and the Xbox One. As much as Borderlands 2 made huge strides in smoothing out the overall shoot and loot experience, the author of this article, Jordan DeVore, still has a soft spot for the original. Following the Borderlands Game of the Year edition rating in Korea earlier this year, the as-yet unconfirmed game has now wound up with a listing on Taiwan's ratings board, one step closer. The new rating divulges the developer behind Borderlands Game of the Year edition for PS4 and Xbox One, and it's Blind Squirrel, a studio that has contributed to well-known titles like Prey, BioShock the Collection, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, and Borderlands 2 itself, among others, and that's it for the details as of right now. It is unclear what, if any, enhancements might make it into this re-release, though DLC is a given. The first Borderlands had 4 packs: the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned, Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot, the Secret Army of General Knox, and and Claptrap's new Robot Revolution, and Nox was the highlight, again according to Jordan DeVore over at Destructoid. And a possible point of comparison, BioShock the Collection most famously on resolution and frame rate upgrades, though the package did include extras like a director's commentary and an art gallery as well. It's also worth noting that 2K Games let existing players on PC upgrade to the BioShock 1 and 2 remasters for free. I fully expect this to feel like cracking open a time capsule. There's going to be some dull stuff to be sure, but there is some sentimental value for folks like me who were away too into Borderlands in October 2009. Maybe 2K will use it as part of the 10-year anniversary celebration, or maybe it'll tide folks over until Borderlands 3, which is taking longer than some were expecting. And of course, there was the tech demo, which was shown off, and nothing ever came of that. So, to start this kind of breakdown off, number one, I believe this is going to be coming out around the time of the 10-year anniversary, which, let's take a little backpedal right now. It's been 10 years since Borderlands was released? What? However, with that being established, I think that Borderlands 3 is going to be close to a launch title for the next generation of consoles, because why would you pump out a Borderlands 3 at the end of a generation? Because the PS4 and the Xbox One, whether we like it or not, are on their way out the door. They aren't going to be around too much longer. I think that within 2 years we're all going to be playing on newer consoles, or at least have the option to. But it could be one of those situations where we saw with the pre-sequel, where it was released on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 and the PC, and then was ported to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One later. They could very well pump out Borderlands 3 and re-release it on the, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, or whatever it might be called. That could be a move, or it could launch on all of the platforms simultaneously on new and old hardware. But will that be, a situation where the game is held back by limited hardware as compared to the next generation? Lots to break down, lots to talk about, too much for this specific podcast. But if you are into Borderlands, then keep an eye out, because it looks like the famous one that started it all is going to be coming pretty soon to the PS4 and the Xbox One, if I had to guess, sometime around the fall. But I would say keep your eyes peeled for around E3 for that kind of announcement. However, you won't have to wait too long to play Resident Evil 2 Remake, because the demo is coming this week on the PS4, Xbox One, and the PC, but there is a catch, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Capcom has made no secret of the fact that it enjoys remaking and re-releasing older Resident Evil games onto whatever current console is out at the time. But while a number of games from the franchise are playable on Xbox One and PS4, the upcoming Resident Evil 2 steers away from the rest as a full-fledged remake of the hit 1998 survival horror adventure. While the remake will release in the next few weeks, it looks as though Xbox One and now PS4 and PC players, as confirmed earlier today, will have a chance to try out the game for a limited time throughout the month of January. That's right, throughout the month of January. Late last year, the Xbox Store leaked information about a timed demo of Resident Evil 2 coming shortly before the game's release. The demo is reportedly going live in just a few days on January the 11th and will offer players a 30-minute time limit to play the demo with as many lives as they would like. The catch, however, is that it appears the demo is only coming to Xbox One. That has now been thrown out, again coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This is not the only Capcom demo players can expect to see in the next few weeks. In preparation for the release of Devil May Cry 5, Capcom is expected to release another demo sometime in February. And as far as exclusivity goes, however, PS4 looks to be receiving the same playable demo. And that is a good news story as well. But again, you can check it out until the 31st, hypothetically, reportedly, if you did want to check that out. And again, RE2 Remade is coming out on January the 25th for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Is it coming out on the PS or PC as well? Resident Evil 2 Remake PC. It should be, I would assume. Yeah. That's what I thought. It's weird. They have a typo here, young gentleman at Game Rant. However, if you did want to dive into it again, as Duke says in the chat, ooh, this is the best news. Indeed, I love the fact that demos are coming back. Because back whenever I was a young lad, we had these things called jam packs on the PlayStation 2, where essentially you buy a $5 disc and it has a brief snippet of what you can expect to get from some of the year's and the season's biggest games. I believe they released around 4 a year. And occasionally, if you did have some of these magazines, like the PlayStation magazine, stuff along those lines, you may occasionally get a demo disc. And so, it's a very good move to be releasing demos because people get to try out what they're getting in on. People get to give it a shot, and again, we're having a giant Anthem trial for pretty much everybody that wants to get in on giving Anthem a shot, and that's a great move because Anthem is an investment. You know, a lot of hours are going to be poured into that game, and so to be able to know what you're getting into before you pay your $60 is a really awesome, you know, feature, and to be able to bring demos back in a big way, it's awesome, because I know they've been around for a while. You know, on the PS3, I remember playing demos of MotorStorm and other big, you know, AAA games from back in the day, but they seem to kind of die down there for a little while. But now they're back, and that's pretty fantastic as well. So we will see what happens here. And again, if you want to jump in and give it a shot like Duke and myself will be doing, then by all means, check it out this weekend on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and rolling out throughout the rest of January. But something else could be rolling out pretty dang soon. Marvel is teasing something fantastic for Spider-Man PS4, and it's coming sooner than you might think. Marvel is dedicating this week to the Fantastic Four, offering reveals oriented around Marvel's first family throughout the next few days. At the end of a 2-hour live stream highlighting some of the changes coming to its mobile titles, the company dropped a quick hint about the company's recent multi-million-dollar selling hit, Spider-Man. All right, listen up. Something fantastic is coming to Marvel's Spider-Man real soon, Marvel's Ryan Panagos said as the company was wrapping up the stream. No further details, such as a date for the next announcement or whether it will be a story-based DLC or a costume, were offered. And of course, you can check out the review over there for Marvel's Spider-Man at Game Informer if you would like that. So, the author of this article, Suriel Vasquez, says, "I'm hoping it's not just a Fantastic Four-style suit. I'm hoping for a team-up myself." I feel like we should temper our expectations here because I would love, and let me tell you right now, I would love to see some kind of Fantastic Four crossover with, you know, Spider-Man that we're seeing here within Marvel's Spider-Man on the PS4. I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four. Lots of good content there. Lots of good lore. Lots of good stories. But is that asking too much? Are we going to be getting the Fantastic Four style suit for Spider-Man? Is there going to be a full crossover DLC? That's still yet to be seen. But again, that could be a big move on their part. But Rex Titan in the chat says web swinging, but with Mr. Fantastic's arms. That's nightmare fuel. That is nightmare fuel. But again, if you have not, number one, played Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4, without a doubt, dive in, give it a shot. Fantastic game, in the running for my game of the year, beat out narrowly by God of War, and if I had to choose another one, Red Dead Redemption 2, but a solid third place, a bronze trophy, going over to Spider-Man PS4. So number one, give that a shot if you have not had the opportunity to already, and number two, more importantly, the DLC is great. You know, you should really check out some of the other content that has been pumped out over the course of the past few months. Totally worth your time. But that wraps it up for today's episode of Caffeinate. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show, and if you did, be sure to drop me a like down below if you are watching on the YouTube channel. And on top of that, for those hanging out live in the chat, I appreciate you guys as well, because, hey, it's always good to be able to shoot the shit, talk the news. This is a family program with you guys here live on Twitch. And on top of that, if you're listening to the podcast service as well, I love you guys. Thank you for listening as well. It's crazy to see that we're about to hit 10,000 listens on just the podcast version of the show alone. Did I make up that metric? Who really knows? Because I thought that I saw it, but I very well could not have. Anyways, if you want to check that out, again, anchor.fm/SamuelAdams. I appreciate you guys very much, and I will talk to you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Caffeinate on Wednesday, January the 9th. But until then, you guys have a good one, and peace.